Yeah, I'm curious. You were saying the fight you really wanted was Fedor, but you wind up coming out to fight Brock. What about Brock intrigued you as a matchup, or did you just recognize this will do big business? This could be a big payday.
Well, it didn't intrigue me at all. That is a big man.
Yes, yes.
It intrigued the company. It intrigued the UFC. Zuffa. They knew that having Brock come over was going to bring all those WWE eyes to those fights. I think I was his third fight out, and he didn't fare very well against Frank Mir in his first fight. But he got knee barred. He did a great job against Crazy Horse in his second fight. Took him down, trapped him pretty well in a face-up crucifix, and beat the crap out of him. He's a great, big, athletic guy, and I have respected his wrestling credentials. Obviously, an NCAA champion from Minnesota, a huge man, and the very few guys that size move as well as that guy does. That's the truth. So I wasn't very, I felt like I had a shot to beat him. I felt like I could use my Greco background, get in the clinch, make him work, put him up against the fence, and really make him work harder than he wanted to work, and had a shot at beating him for sure. But I knew it wasn't going to be an easy task. And I think I was on my way to getting it done. I think if he hadn't grabbed the fence in that first round and stopped me from taking him down, it might have been a different night. Who knows how he would have reacted to being on his back and fighting from his back with me on top, punching him and elbowing him in the face.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about Brock. Did you respect him for his collegiate days, or did you just look at him as another pro wrestler trying to make it in MMA?
No, I absolutely respected it. How could I not respect him being an NCAA champion? You know as well as I do, that's a very, very small group of humans that have achieved NCAA championship, titles in our society, and that's our style of wrestling. Right. Something I immersed myself in from the time I was 10 years old. So I had a lot of respect for him and what he accomplished and the athlete that he was or is. So yeah, it's not something I took lightly at all. I didn't look at him as just a big pro wrestler.
Well, as everybody knows, Brock got the win and became the heavyweight champion that night. How good was Brock? What do you think he could have did in MMA if diverticulitis hadn't have derailed some of that?
Well, I think he was on his way to being very, very dominant in that weight class. I don't think he had made friends with getting punched in the face yet. That's my opinion. And I think when he faced Velasquez and Alistair Overeem, that became very apparent. He had not made friends with the fact that, hey, you're in a fight, you're going to get punched in the face. That better trip your trigger and get you in the fight, not get you to shy away from the fight. I just don't think he had made friends with that yet. So although he's a great big physical guy, he had a ton of potential. I don't think he ever really achieved that. He created his own little fiefdom there in Alexandria with his gym. Now that's more big guys than I've seen on one mat anywhere, but it was his gym. You were there by invitation only. None of those guys wanted to buck the system or make waves and frankly be honest with him and help him improve. I trained there for a couple of weeks. I wasn't worried about any of that. So I was happy to go toe to toe and really push it in the training environment where I felt like a lot of those guys didn't do that. And consequently, if you're the big fish in the pond, you're not getting any better. Now, Marty Morgan, I had a lot of respect for him. Marty was handling his training, great boxing guy, great boxers come from that family, and his wrestling pedigree in Minnesota and nationally and internationally goes very, very deep with all the Morgan brothers. So I had a lot of respect for Marty. I knew that Marty was going to have him in shape and have him prepared technically the best that he could.